up. Are
you doing We Out Here again this year?
I don't know actually. To be honest with you, this festival seems like a little bit dry this year for me.
Do you know what it is? Yeah, and this is partly why I am doing We Out Here again. Everything is just like cookie cutter.
Yeah,
like,
I know what you mean.
So many of the lineups is just the same people, and I get it because if you don't like make your money back, it's quite intense. Like you're especially the smaller.
You mean the actual festivals?
The actual festivals, yeah. So like your fucking profit margins are raising.
So many of them are closing down. That's
exactly.
The thing.
So it's difficult, but.
Like fucking Secret Garden Party, just had its last one last year. That's like my favourite festival ever.
I've never been.
It's debaucherous.
That's what.
It's debaucherous. About the first time I went to Secret Garden Party, that changed my whole festival thing. Where now, fuck the lineup. I don't give a fuck about who's playing. Like, okay, great if there's a couple acts,
but
if I can see one, I like try and go to one or two a day that I actually want to see. Other than that,
I'll go where them go. Yeah, right, literally. Go to what sounds good.
But like the last Secret Garden Party that they did last year, they doing no headliners because they did a whole story about it, and they were like, the amount of money we pay for a headliner, we can get this many other extra acts. So they didn't even have a main stage. They had this whole like parade on the first day, on the first night, which was so sick as well. Where like this whole massive funeral procession walked through the whole festival, and we were like, "What the fuck is going on?" And we got following them, and they went to where the main stage was the previous year, and they had this whole fucking show or whatever, like the drones or whatever. And then they, but the main stage was empty or whatever, and they fired fireworks at the main stage, and then timed it so that when the fireworks got there, the main stage blew up, and they blew up the main stage, and they were like, "Fuck headliners, fuck the main stage. It's about grassroots shit." That's what I read. Yeah, exactly.
That's unreal. The production value is top tier as well.
That's and it's such a festival as well.
Yeah, and that's the thing. But then
I think because they're all closing down, that's why it's just tougher for like these smaller acts.
But it's a representation of kind of the whole music scene at the moment. Like,
it's so sad.
It is if you're not in this bucket of people, or you're not doing X numbers or X like TikTok or stats, like you're
or DJ and dance.
Yeah, exactly.
It's making me want to DJ dance. Like, I've been seeing people like Michael and fucking Hamdi and all these guys killing it. I'm like, bro, I need to start just spinning some tunes that I didn't even make.
It might have
I've
to
been all this time making tunes. That's the point.
And people are just doing remixes of other people's tunes.
Literally,
it's going on.
So I kind of rate it.
So
you're going back to We Out Here this year?
Going back to We Out Here, going Glasgow.
Oh, you going to Glastonbury?
Yeah. God, mate, I'll see you there, mate.
Where are you going to camp? Have you been before?
No, I've been before.
Crazy.
First time.
It's like uncomparable to any other festival. Like I love smaller festivals, but Glastonbury's different, man. It's like there's no space. You know how big it is. There's no space where there's no vibes at all. It's just pure vibes everywhere.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Vinyl Resting Place podcast. I'm Dapo Agiri, and I'm very pleased to be joined by the multi-talented, multifaceted Ollie, aka Guami.
Thank you, bro. Brother? I'm good. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Act like we haven't just been chatting like 20 minutes now, isn't it?
Yeah, no, the magic.
It's all organic.
Exactly. Yeah, he's jumped straight in. We're flowing.
Yeah, we're here.
How are we?
I'm cool. We're good. Yeah, tired.
Come straight in from Brighton.
Staying from Brighton. Up too late last night. Up too early this morning.
What were you doing last night?
Nothing even fun. Just I was rehearsing with Stephen. Obviously. Have you released?
No.
But maybe by the time this goes out, you'll have the Stephen podcast out. I don't know.
Yes, this will be.
Stephen Babadelli. Big up Stephen.
Big up Stephen, friend of the podcast.
Exactly. Yeah, that's my guy. So we was rehearsing last night for our gig. We got playing the Dome on Friday. Supporting Hot 8 Brass Band should be sick. So we're doing that, and then I just had to run tunes for another brand that I'm trying to play for, basically.
Oh, yeah.
So I was up stupid late, got in stupid late, had to do the washing up, and then just got up way too early. So
you do balance your lives very well. I remember when we played the show with Renell in. I want to say it was like Highbury in Islington or something.
Oh,
like
with Kimran.
Yeah.
Cool. And Monty and that.
Yeah.
Who else was it? Halves. The little one. The one. Am I thinking the same one?
No. This is before that. I'm thinking this is. I think we were playing. This was supporting 4 albums, maybe.
You with
drove
the high focus show. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah.
The Christmas one.
Christmas
show.
Yeah,
it was at Steelyard.
Yeah.
And we were like, okay, what we saying for the night? And then you were like, no, I'm driving back. I'm driving back to Brighton tonight. I was like, you're not. Yeah. The set started at like 11 as well.
So you know what? I sometimes I regret it as well. I think I must have had something to do the next day because
surely,
you know, especially for like a high focus show. I'm not saying the fucking, you know, Def Jam or something, but it's pretty sick.
Yeah, they're always
good
vibes.
Sick vibes.
I
must have had something on the next day.
Mate, I sympathise with you a lot. I feel like I'm always jumping between like one thing or another.
Yeah.
As I've like tried to take on more management shit and more of this stuff, I'm like, where does the time go? But you seem to keep on top of everything, which is good.
Yeah, I try my best, innit? Well, I keep on top of all of the quote unquote business things. Yeah. You know what I mean? My personal life, my girlfriend will tell you that my time management is not good, but that gets sacrificed. We're just trying to.
We're trying to make things happen.
Yeah, literally.
It's got to be done. It's got to be done. We're talking about all the things that you've got on.
Yeah.
Can you let the people at home know who is Guami and what are the different things you are doing?
I'm a drummer, beat maker, producer. That's like the fun stuff. Also, I'm a mix and recording engineer and stuff. But yeah, that's kind of what I do. So all my time is spent drumming and making tunes and making beats and stuff, basically. So we do that. We've got cultdeep, which is obviously mine and King Girl's platform, based in Brighton. Just rap vibes, basically. Just trying to put on rap stuff, just local rap stuff. And yeah, that's just spend my time making tunes.
So where was the start? Was the start drumming or was the start?
Yeah, drumming. Yeah. So always. Started off drumming. Actually, I picked up me and King Girl both started producing at uni. Actually, he started first, and he just made like a beat or two, and I was like, fuck this guy, I can make better beats than this. Which is basically how our relationship is. We're just both like, fuck this guy.
Hey,
so and then we just started making beats together and separately and but I started out drumming when I was much younger. Started out playing like metal. I'm a big like heavy metal fan.
What?
And started out like exactly. We chatted about that later, innit? So big metal fan and like heavy rock and stuff, and that's where I started out. And it's not like wasn't from like a musical household or nothing. My older cousin was like a big musical inspiration growing up because we were like, he's like 2 years older than me, but we just started playing music. Like my first band was with him.
Nice.
My second band was with him.
Oh, come on.
You know what I mean? So yeah, man. So. But my mum is like a big music head, but she doesn't play music or nothing. But she's got amazing music taste, amazing music taste.
Like what sort of influences?
Soul, R&B, disco queen, big disco queen.
Let's go.
And she just likes good shit, man. She just likes really fucking good shit. Like, I've even tried to buy her stuff. Like I once got her Miseducation of Lauryn Hill CD. I'm thinking, my mum's gonna love this, and I gave it to her. I was like, and I've got like a couple copies already. Do you know what I mean? And she like every artist. I always caught up, like especially when I'm going on deep dives into older artists and whatnot. Like the other day, I was just delving into Parliament Funkadelic, and I was like, let me just call mum, see if she's seen them. Called her up, asked if she's seen. Like, I saw them back in whatever. So she says she's got a sick music taste, which I never really appreciated until I was a little bit older, because obviously, like I said, I was a metalhead when I was younger, and I was just like, anything that isn't just about like death, and I was like, no, this shit's lame. Do you know what I mean? But as I got older, and then I got into like soul and R&B, and then I realised I knew all of these tunes off by heart just because I've been listening to them. I mean, like you get the whole thing when you was younger, your mum telling you to turn the music down. I had to turn my music up because mum's music was so much louder in the kitchen. Yeah,
you're battling.
Literally, I had to like drown it out. Yeah, so just started off, doing that, playing music, playing in bands, in like Littlehampton and Worthing, which is not exactly a mecca for music. So
what are you talking about? What?
We had Royal Blood. So that's nah.
And Guami, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well that happened a little bit later. So then I came to Brighton, went to BIM, and just, again kept playing in bands or whatever. And then from a couple of years earlier, I'd started to get into like hip hop and rap, and then slowly that came to R&B and jazz when I was at uni, which is where I actually discovered what we're going to talk about today. And yeah, man. And then eventually, I think it was from me and King Girl. we just wanted to. We were like not ever getting put on basically, and we weren't really trying to because we were just sitting at home smoking weed all the time. So it's just dumb. So we just weren't making any good moves at all. So no one was putting us on. So we just started trying to put ourselves on, put our own gigs on, and like we didn't have any money. Obviously because we're fucking students, so we just bought the shittest recording setup, go in, turn the living room into like a shit recording set with like the whole egg cartons on the walls.
Nice.
The worst setup ever. And then just started doing nothing inside. Literally, bro, it was worse. It was way worse. At least they had like some cool equipment. But yeah, and then we just, I think, yeah, like I said, he just started, I guess, making instrumentals and beats and stuff, and then I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna do this too. And then from there I just started making beats, and then, you know, we started trying to get involved with like local rappers and whatever, and just kind of evolved from there, I guess. Yeah.
Fair enough. And where do you see things going? Like cultdeep yourself. Like, what is in an ideal world an avenue you could see?
I mean, you know, it's tough to say. Like, you know what? I don't even know. Like, I've been thinking. You know, everyone thinks about this a lot, isn't it? But kind of I want to do what I'm doing now, just more. And for more money. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm already living off music, which is cool. I mean, I'm not like, you know, rich or nothing, but I make a living completely off music. So I just want to be playing for more artists, recording more artists, working with artists. Like we said a minute ago, festivals. That's my dream. I just want to play festivals. Yeah. But yeah, man, I just want to be self-sufficient and just have I just want to have a long-lasting career in music. That's all I want. I've never been one for like bright lights and fame or nothing like that, which is good because the type of music I make isn't exactly. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, man, I just want to keep on doing what I'm doing, just make more money and take more time off.
I resonate with it.
Do you know what I mean?
If it's something that can like sustain itself and then give you the perks of being able to go and see the things that you're witnessing from afar.
Exactly.
Beautiful.
And that's why I wanted to get into like mixing, recording, because, you know, making music is like always been my dream and I'm never going to stop doing it. But as we all know, that's probably the least profitable
side of it,
avenue in music, isn't it? So 100%. I started to get into like recording and mixing artists because it makes actual money, and then I can not. Since I've been doing that, I've really managed to start making. I've always made music I want to make, but now I only make music I want to make. Do you know what I mean? Whereas before, I'd be taking jobs making music I didn't want to make for artists I didn't like, or just even trying to think, okay, you know, I'm a big soul R&B fan. I like making a couple trappy beats here and there or whatever, but only when the mood takes me. But before, I was kind of like forcing myself to make certain type of beats here and there because I felt like that was what was popping or whatever. But now that I make money off other avenues in music and drumming, I can like the music I make, I can just really, really, truly not care about how popular it becomes and just follow like
put it out there.
Yeah.
And what comes.
Exactly. And just trust myself.
Yeah, exactly. And enjoy the process as well, because I feel like you don't want to get to the stage where you're trying to fit yourself into this box.
Exactly.
Isn't you?
100%. Exactly. And like, you know, I always want to make different types of music. Like I said, I love trap. I love drill. I love grime, and I've been trying to kind of do my own twists on those kinds of music. But yeah, I don't ever want to have to make any certain type of music.
100%.
Unless I'm getting paid loads. Man.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, everyone's got price. There's not crazy.
For the price, I'll still make anything you want.
Yeah.
Don't care.
Guami beats.
Yeah, exactly. We'll
put the email in the bio. Don't worry. How would you describe your sound then? Like, talking about making music that you like, what does that sound like and look like at the moment?
It's a tough one, isn't it? It's funny actually. I was speaking to, I can't remember who. Yes, I think it might have been Serge. He plays guitar for Stephen, and just saying how, like, especially when I've always sat on a lot of music. I've tried to get music out, but I've got so much music in the bank that I haven't released and that I'll never release. But your like self-perceptions of yourself are like built off a lot of this music that no one else has ever heard.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So like probably my perception of my music is different from other people's, I guess. But to me, I think I make soul music.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Just soul R&B music. I tend to get guys rapping on it instead of singing. I'd love to work for some more singers, but yeah, to me, the beats I make mainly are just soul beats, is what I like to call them. So if I say hip hop beats, Everyone thinks,
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? White on white, UK hip hop.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Based in Brighton.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So yeah, I make soul music as hell, but left field, I'd say.
I would say that fits in with my image of you,
Good.
like as an artist. I would say, I don't think that's far off the truth.
Yeah.
I would have said, like, I probably would have still thrown rap in there.
100. I mean, I love rap. Yeah, like
but
I make soul beats for rappers.
for rap, yeah,
You know what I
is
mean? So-
exactly it. I think,
Yeah.
and I think that leads in very nicely to the album you've chosen as your case album.
Yeah, man.
So without further ado, let us know what it is, and we can delve into why you
We're
chose
gonna talk
it.
about Voodoo by D'Angelo, which is, I mean, I don't know where I'd put it, but it's got to be top 10 albums of all time.
I'm so glad you said that, because
Surely.
I was thinking this as I was listening through. I was like, I think this is top 15
At least, yeah.
bass, like,
yeah.
of all time.
Yeah, it's got to be. It's got to be. But you know, everything it's all subjective, isn't it? I mean, did you ever look at that Apple Music top 100?
So we ran through that. We ran through that list on the podcast. We never actually finished that.
Oh yeah,
Barney, we need to
just on your own or with like another guest?
With my old host, co-host Barney.
Cool.
And we got to like, I think we did it in quarters.
Yeah.
There were so many where we're like, shouldn't have been on there.
Oh
and like I'd go back and listen to them and be like, okay.
It's like 17 Taylor Swift
albums.
Even number one actually was Lauryn Hill.
Lauryn Hill, which I agree. That's my favourite album of all time.
Is it? Okay, I respect that, to be fair.
Yeah,
you know what? I think it's a respectable album to be not one, but I just think, is it the best album of all time?
Yes.
Fair enough. Okay, I hear that. Fair enough.
Where I sit with it is that it's one of those albums in a similar way to Voodoo.
Yeah.
Whereas I think you can put it into a multitude of situations,
100%.
multitude of audiences, and it will still resonate with people.
Yeah.
Regardless. And I think as well, like, take context and like social side and all these things.
Yeah, 100%.
I think it was one of those albums that really like won all the awards and the Grammys for the music. Like,
it definitely bridged the gap at the time as well. But Lauryn Hill as a entity bridged a massive gap between like soul and R&B and hip hop.
Yeah, 100%. And I think
no, I rate it. I mean, I love the album. Like I said, I bought my mum that.
Yeah,
album,
exactly.
I love the album.
It's just where would you rank Miseducation against Voodoo?
This, I mean, again, it's I don't want to shit. I don't want to shit. But to me, I mean, this is one of my favourite albums of all time, if not my favourite album of all time. And all of my other favourite albums of all time are either rap or heavier.
Yeah.
So to me, on a personal level, this is the best R&B soul album. To me.
Yeah.
And again, only like, to me, Miseducation of Lauryn Hill as a rap album isn't as good as other rap albums of the time, and as an R&B soul album to me isn't as good as other R&B soul albums. I think it's great that it bridged the gap, and she was obviously such a force. But I think like as an R&B, I'd put like Badooism and Voodoo and stuff like that above it. As a rap album, like Illmatic and shit like that. Like, but this is me being critical because when you say something's the best album of all time, it's got to take your criticism.
Yeah, of course. And like, if you're sitting at the top, you aim to be. You're there to be shot at.
Exactly.
Like, that's the point.
But no, so I think it's you know when some people say their favorite albums or whatever, and you're like, come on, bro.
Like,
but no, I think
ridiculous.
Miseducation is definitely a respectable choice.
I appreciate it, and if it makes you feel any better, Illmatic's in my top 5.
Yeah, man.
Like I think
I wrote an essay on that actually. Yeah.
Did you?
That was good. That was one of my other choices actually for this. I was trying to decide.
We'll dive into that because I feel like it's worth conversation.
Yeah.
I completely get what you're saying. Like I think Voodoo as an R&B album and a soul album is kind of the elite side of things. And then you have the element of like they throw in a few like hip hop and like core elements. Do you prefer the like softer side of Voodoo or do you prefer the
personally? I mean, I love it all, but to me, what I love about Voodoo, I mean, I love a million things about Voodoo. What I really love about Voodoo is it's just so fucking smooth. Do you know what I mean? The smoothness is like, and the smoothness between songs as well. Like, this is like the way that like, and there's a million albums that are like this, but the way that it flows, it's not like however many separate songs. It's like it really, really flows. Sometimes you can't even tell when one song finishes and another one ends and another one starts, or you know, some of them are like 3 songs in one.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just so smooth. Like the way it's just constructed, it was just such like a vibe.
Agreed.
Do you know what I mean?
I'm normally like quite anti long drawn out albums.
Me too. Yeah,
I find it really like
I get bored.
Yeah,
I get bored.
And I can never say that with this.
No.
Like, when you suggested it, I was like, oh,
I mean, how long is it?
It's like an hour 10 minutes. It's like 77 minutes.
But 13 tracks, that's not too bad. I mean,
is
that long for you?
I feel like quite long, especially because it's 13 tracks as well. So like you've got 7-minute long tracks. Untitled is hella long. You do have drawn out pieces of music individually. Whereas if you, I don't know, I prefer having an hour and a bit long or an hour and a half long album that is 23 tracks. And to be honest, that is where fatigue sets in.
I hear you. There's so many albums I can't finish.
I can't do it. I can't. And I love to like listen to something as a whole body of work.
Yeah.
But if you're like chopping and changing and going through all the, and there's no coherent structure to your album, and I'm sat there for an hour and a half.
There's so many albums I'm about to make it through, but like fucking like Donda 1 and 2, I couldn't finish. Also because I thought it was shit. I just, and like every Drake album is like.
Well, I was gonna say Scorpion Drake is the one that like jumps to mind as I can't get through it. It's just
there's no need. It's not even like he's not creating masterpieces. In fact, why are we even talking about Drake anymore? Isn't it paedophile? We've got to cancel him now.
We won't give it.
But no, like people like that, innit? Like I can't get through 20 tunes. No, but do you think that's also our age? Because I was thinking this as well. Like, do you think some albums when we were younger, we're so much more? We're so much more invested in. I mean, we are still to this day, but everyone when they're younger is like music is everything, isn't it? And you really obsess over stuff. Whereas nowadays, like I've got stuff to do. I
do think that plays a part in it, but then I would say because I do all this shit, I'm way more I'm way more willing to dedicate time to it, and I think
that's really good.
It's the best thing about doing the podcast.
Of course, Do you still sit down and like just listen to music and don't do anything else?
I will try, especially if it's like something that I'm bringing onto the podcast.
You really try.
I will try and carve out the time.
I think that's sick,
like,
man.
even if it's where I'm trying. We do, 100%.
I've even lost it, like it's a little bit. That's why the only thing that really makes me sit down is vinyl, because I think it's because that whole, and maybe this is why it was when we were younger as well, was because we had to buy. I sound like such an old head.
No, it's true though. We're unks now. This is
like the thing cost us real money to like work for.
I know.
Like with vinyl, I'll put that on and then I really just sit down and listen, and me and Ella just sit down and listen or just chill. Whereas a lot of the rest of the time, if it's on Apple Music, I'm putting on stuff in the background in the car.
And it's playlists, and the way like the consumption of music is different, right?
Yeah.
We are in a world where you can have every song at your fingertips at all times.
Exactly.
And they're sending you suggestions for your mood. All these, so like that's a positive. There are good things from that in terms of music discovery and giving artists a platform and all these sorts of things.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
also it devalues each bit of music to the consumer a little bit.
Yeah, and it completely dilutes your listening experience because, as you say, it's not this physical thing that you've worked hard to go and obtain and pay money to get and that you physically own. It is just something that is a backing track to your day to day, which 100%. Is not a bad thing.
Yeah.
But like, I like to hear something that is constructed.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, not all artists, but a lot of artists, they're making something as like a project of expression. Like, of course, they are trying to get across an emotion, a narrative, a feeling to you as a listener.
Exactly.
Like if you're not there sitting in trying to take it in, like
it's disrespectful.
Yeah, almost. Like, I get that that's the life that we live, but like.
But no, you're right though. Like it should. That's what it should be. You know, and that's the problem with a lot of these albums and a lot of longer albums as well. Is it doesn't feel like a cohesive thing.
No.
Like an album should be like a thing. Do you know what I mean? Like a concert, like an EP or a mixtape or whatever. You can just chuck some tunes or whatever and it's fine, but an album should be like a whole vibe. You know what I mean? A whole encapsulated
art
thing.
Of an album is being lost.
Yeah, 100.
I think I'll caveat that by saying
I hope it's going to come back though.
I think it is, because I think there are a shit ton of unbelievable artists who are making amazing who comes to mind? Like, there's this harp player called Nala Sinefro.
Sick. Okay. Cool.
Her album that she dropped last year, like, that was for me like a listening experience. I was like, this is something that I could understand the process that's gone into it. I can understand that there is a feeling that is being evoked in me, whether that's what she intended. I've got that. Or
I'm sure.
We just had him on the pod actually. Suzanne's.
Oh, cool.
Album,
Susan.
Ponzu.
Sick.
He was talking about when he was on the pod, like the idea of he doesn't want to, like, he doesn't see music as a narrative space. Like, for him, it's very much like creating a soundscape and like almost a mood.
He's a very and you can hear that in Susan's music, I think, as well.
100%. And
it's very moody. It's very mood based.
Yeah,
like a lot of his projects, like albums, whatever. I mean, I've listened to like a couple of them in it, and they've always got a concise feeling to them.
Yeah.
Even when there's it goes from one extreme to the other within that kind of bubble. It's always like it makes sense.
And in that like hour-long period, everything is within that world. Like, you feel very locked in. I was telling him that he sent me the Ponzu EPK before he came on, so I was listening to it and I was like, for a minute there was like a half an hour period in the album where I was completely dead to the world.
That's really cool.
I was just locked into, and he was like, "Oh, that's cool, man." And I was like, "No, I'm telling you, I felt something." He's
very chill, isn't he? He's very chill, like, nonchalant kind of guy.
I asked him, I was like, "What do you want people to take from the album?" And he was like, whatever.
Whatever.
If you want to take something from it, if you don't, chilling. But like, there are so many artists that are like that I can't even name off the top of my head who are making art, right? Like the music as a form of art. Whereas I think in the commercial side of music, there is less of that, because things are not necessarily about the album. It's about how many streams does a single.
That's the thing, isn't it? I mean, and it's like we're kind of slaves to the way that it is at the moment. I can't really blame any artists for doing it, because I mean, I'm sure a million people have said this on this podcast. We all talk about it all the time, but like there's a reason why the album's being lost. It's because of stuff like TikTok. I'm not even hating on TikTok. I think TikTok and Instagram is an amazing platform, but it has its consequences, which is fast-paced, like microwave generation, always trying to just get onto the next thing, or concise things, like really small bite-sized snippets, always working within the algorithm, which can, I think, really hurt artistry.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it has created a consumer base as it is, and it boils back to what we were saying about festivals and things being cookie cutter. Is like, because things are about what ticks off the algorithm and what is going to do numbers and things like that, you are creating stuff for the algorithm, or creating stuff for that commercial value, rather than creating the thing that you want. So it means that the audience is being pumped in with just a bunch of the same stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
So it means when you come to shows and booking gigs and festivals, promoters don't want the individual, unique, low-key artist, because that's not the person who's actually going on TikTok. So
also, like labels aren't developing artists too much anymore, because they I mean, not that labels ever come to me, but like all my mates have. We're getting there. You're getting there, innit? But yeah, like a lot of my mates have been approached by labels, or are in talks with labels now, or they produce for artists who are in talks with big labels like Island and Warner and stuff like that. And it's always the same shit. Like the labels or the A&Rs, what they're looking for is basically someone who's already. They've already marketing themselves. They, in the past, they took an artist and they took them for the music and maybe some star quality, and then they grew the artist. Do you know what I mean? They marketed the artist and used their connections. Nowadays, like the label's kind of bogus to a degree, because the artist has to do it themselves.
You have to have a base. Yeah. And the barriers to entry are so much higher than before, because there is some guy doing it from his bedroom who's, for whatever reason, got that exposure and got that fan base. Yeah. So they may not be the most talented.
Also, they've got to work within, because they're, the algorithm calls for super high quality, all these, like, showing your face to the camera, talking, being personable. So I mean, there's so many artists from the past that would never have been able to.
Oh God, no.
You can imagine Pink Floyd doing it. You know what I mean? Like, because like the algorithm it doesn't want you to post artwork. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And there's like, I don't know how, Salt, that band?
Yes, yeah.
obviously they're insane, and Inflow's amazing.
Unbelievable.
But like on paper, they shouldn't make it because then there's no music videos, there's no interviews, there's no all the artwork is just there's no artwork, isn't it?
It's because they had already made it.
True, isn't it?
They're industry people.
Exactly.
Like there is this is like the third or fourth time that I'm speaking about this fucking group, but there's this.
They're insane, isn't it?
There's this like R&B producer trio called Hills. I don't know if you've heard of them, but they're trying to do a similar thing to sort that. Everything's faceless and that they don't. And I'm like, I don't know if it's going to work for them. Because their music is so good. Yeah. Their music is so good. And I definitely recommend it. I'll ping it.
Hills.
H.LLS.
Cool.
But like, Salt can do faceless. They can do anonymous
guys, isn't it?
Because they've got got so many connections. Like the Drum Shed show.
Yeah, was you there?
No, I didn't.
I went there.
Oh, did you?
Lit.
It looked
best
insane.
show I've ever been to.
I bet because
I was so pissed off as well because my boy Ross, who actually I think you met at We Out Here.
Yes,
we knew that they was going to release the tickets, and obviously we love Salt in it, and Cleo Soul and Inflow and the whole fucking gang, man. And I was at work, I think I was teaching drums or something, but he was able to get the tickets, and we were like, just put tickets. Like whoever gets them first, put tickets, and we didn't know how much they were, and then it was £100 each, and he just went and got them because he couldn't get in contact with me. I was teaching drums, and I was like, oh bro, like £100 on a gig like that. I disagree with that as a moral
concept
basis. You know what I mean? And I was thinking, do I sell my ticket? Do I just go? Whatever. Like no, like fuck Salt. Like, no artist is worth £100 tickets. But then I was like, fuck it, let me just go. And it's so worth it. I'd pay more.
Really?
Yeah, because it was so much to it. Have you seen any videos from it?
I've seen it. It was immersive. Like it was a performance as opposed to a gig. And
exactly.
Like, that is what something like.
I bet they didn't even make any money off it. Like there was so much that went into it. The stage show, the way that I don't know how much you see from the videos, but like the whole area was like a stage. Like there was loads of different bits. Like they must have reduced the capacity by like 25-30% at least.
Really?
So £100. I bet they didn't make any money off it. But I'll go see it again in a heartbeat.
Mate, I've just spent £123 to see Stevie Wonder.
That's cool. That's cool.
I feel like I have to, and I'm putting out here.
That is a lot.
Fuck you, Glastonbury.
Yeah,
he should be that Legends headliner. Like
Sheik's there though. Nile Rodgers and Sheik.
Yeah, I know.
That's what I'm most gassed for.
I've seen them.
Have you?
And it will be unbelievable.
Yeah.
But my thing is, I saw the rumours to Stevie Wonder, and everyone was like, he's going to be in the UK.
Yeah. Oh, is he?
Yeah. Well, because he's doing British Summertime.
Oh, is he? Okay,
and British Summertime is the weekends before, during, and after Glastonbury.
But often don't festivals and stuff, when they secure a big headliner like that, they try and make it like they like pay extra for it to be an exclusive. So like
maybe
I've heard this is like a big thing.
They did last year. It was SZA British Summertime, and she went straight into Glastonbury. And I was Stevie Wonder, British Summertime, straight into Glastonbury. No, we've got Neil Young.
You never know.
We never know.
Yeah, I can't say I'm going to be at Neil Young.
No,
but
I don't think I'm going to.
Big up to Neil Young, but
not for me.
Not for me. No,
no I'm not. That's
or Rod Stewart. Rod Stewart's the legend slot.
Yeah.
No,
I'm not seeing any of the headliners.
No, I'm not. You tell you what I'm going to see, and I'm buying myself some some bright green neon fishnets for myself. Charlie XCX, bro.
Mate,
I
get it. It's got to be done.
360 party. I'm gonna be there.
Guess, bro.
But no, I'm the same, man. I'm at Glastonbury as well, and like, I'm not gonna go see one headline. I don't think.
No.
Other than Charlie, maybe. But I don't care.
I don't.
It would have been nice, but I don't care.
No, that's not necessarily why I'm going.
Like I was saying before, like the lineup is the least important part.
100%. And I think like especially with the scale. It would have been nice to have one. It would have been nice to have one, like especially one
that you care about
pyramid stage. Because I feel like
it's a monumental. Because you haven't been before, have you? Yeah, it's a monumental stage.
Yeah, and everyone like to have like an experience there. Like I remember 2 years ago, like my flatmate, he went to see Elton John.
Yeah,
and
at
Glasgow, and he was like, I wasn't that fussed about him, but I'm so glad I went because it was just like.
I watched it on the thing. I'm not even that into Elton John, but watching I was like, I forgot how many bangers this guy has.
Hey, it looks like limbs, and I just don't know. I just don't see any of the.
No.
And it will.
But thing is, it's like I can't really hate it because Glastonbury is a pop festival.
Yeah.
I mean, people compare it to the past, like the 60s and 70s and stuff, but back then, good music was pop. Good, you know, it's personal preference, isn't it? But I get, like, I'm not into it. I'm not going to go see any of the headliners, but 1975 and Olivia Rodrigo are huge. It's just not us.
Is Olivia Rodrigo as relevant as I mean, even to like her fan base, right? Like, I don't know if she is.
No, I think you're right. Yeah.
I don't know if she's dropped like. I remember the Purple album. I can't remember what it's called.
I only know about her at all because of some of my drum students when I learned her. That's the only reason I know about her.
But like, I haven't heard much from her in ages. Like, I would have expected like potentially even like Charlie or Sabrina Carpenter. Because I was...
we thought it'd be Sabrina Carpenter, actually, because, you know, we always guess.
Yeah, and her, Chappell Roan and Charlie XCX, they're all headlining Primavera. So they're at...
That's such a... Pyramid stage... Glastonbury Pyramid should be the best... The top bar. But I even think last year, I think SZA was and Dua Lipa. I don't think they're Glastonbury headliners.
No. I mean, and I think it kind of showed that they were. Yeah, like, in terms of numbers, especially SZA, like, it looked...
But if she headlined... one of the other stages, like West Holtz or Silver Haze or something, she would have killed it. Like Charlie is I'm saying like I knew her. Charlie XCX is to give her government name. She's not doing Pyramid Stage, and she's doing one of the other stages, and that's perfect.
Yeah, and it's gonna be the same with her, Ray and Doechii.
Yeah,
they're all headlining slightly small, and it'll be perfect because one, like it will be that bit more like close. And
I mean, they're still big, bro.
They're still
like all of these little stages. When you go to other festivals, like the main stage and the area around it is like, and the whole of like, if you've been to Love Supreme,
yes,
okay, so like pretty much at least half of that whole place, is the size of every one of these small stages.
I get that, I get that, but then I think that's perfect because like that is the scale that they're on, and you know that you'll have a good time there, and give people the option that you're going to have to pick one or the other. It makes sense for that side of things. But like SZA, because I saw SZA at British Summertime last year.
Cool,
and it's probably the main stage of British Summertime is probably one like a smaller version of one of the other stages at Glastonbury.
That's perfect.
It was bouncing.
It was bouncing. She's sick. Everyone loves SZA, but she's not big enough for Pyramid Stage. But 1975, I mean, it's not me at all, but they are huge, bro. Everyone loves, like everyone who's everyone who's no one loves.
I get it. It's just it really doesn't appeal to me. We've not talked about D'Angelo.
I know. Have to cut this episode out.
No, I'm loving it.
This is good, man.
I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. With Voodoo.
Yeah.
Do you have a favourite song? Like, obviously, we've spoken about it as a cohesive piece, but is there like a track that really stands out to you?
You know what? It changes a lot. Like, my favourite song always changes. Do you know what I mean? Because I listen to his album so much. I go through periods of not listening to it, and then I listen to it again. I'm like, what am I doing? I should listen to this every week just for like
how often do you listen to it? Because I think that is
phases, man. Like when I first heard it, it was like every day for like a long time. For like probably every day or every other day, or some of it every day or every other day for like it's got to be at least a year or something like that.
How did you find it?
I found it from King Girl, who's the other half of Cultdeep. His friend. It's such a boring story. His mum and stepdad moved to the Isle of Skye. Okay. So he goes up there a little bit, and then some kid he met up there he went up to the Isle of Skye for like a little holiday in between, I guess, term time and BIM or whatever, and then come back with this album. It was like some golden chalice that he brought back. He's like, let me show you this. And it just blew us away basically. And I'd never heard of him before. Like I was into hip hop, I was into like soul and R&B, but maybe not I don't know, somehow I just never heard of this in my life. I mean, I think it's one of those albums that it's massive to everyone, every muso. Do you know what I mean? But it's not necessarily or musos or massive R&B soul fans. Other than that, most people have never heard of D'Angelo.
Yeah,
he's very against humanity.
He's very much a cult hero.
Big time.
I think within his circles is
big time
regarded as one of the greatest ever.
Yeah.
But like outside, and I guess as well in the UK, like we just weren't as exposed, especially it's not our time.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
But
exactly.
It's not something that like translated across the Atlantic amazingly, but it's fun. I found it through my uncle. And I was like,
sick.
It's this. I've never heard anything like this.
No, it is. Yeah, that's why it took me so much. Like when I first heard it, is because it's like nothing like anything I'd at least heard at the time. But yeah, man. I mean, I listen to it still to this day. Like I said, I go through stages of not listening to it, maybe just because as you do. And there's a couple albums like this, but every time I then go back to listen to it, I'm like, yeah, this is why. This and MF Doom are two artists that I like. When I listen to it, it gives me like spiritual satisfaction. And when I don't, and then I go back to it, I'm like, yeah, I should really listen to it every week just for like
that feeling.
Yeah.
It's so hard to, because I think there are so many albums that can do that, and it's like you can't find the time to like experience new music and find new music, whilst also
there's
like
so much
relying on your classics. Like I mean that feeling, that like joy is why this podcast started. There is a particular album that got me through lockdown, which is Black Sands by
okay,
Voodoo.
Cool. Yeah, nice. Sick. Yeah,
it is
Brighton.
I'm going to the Brighton show.
Oh, you sick.
In June or wherever the fuck it is.
Man, Brighton legend.
He's hands down
it's a fucking good album.
It's an unbelievable album. And I think as well, like, I'd heard of him from more like dancey circles, because I found him when he did the Cyrus album like in 2013, and I was like getting into like a little bit of my rainbow. I was like, okay, all right, I get behind this. And then I was like, let me see what he's done before. Found Black Sands, and I was like, this is a jazz album. This is unbelievable.
Yeah, man. 100%.
And then fast forward to lockdown, similar thing to you. Like I was like, I probably listened to it every single day. Yeah. And it was the like second or third album I ever got on vinyl as well.
Really, yeah.
It is currently hanging up in my living room, like on my wall. This makes me feel so good. Like I just stick it back on again. And I'm like, oh my god. It is hot. It's a testament to that album that you can keep going back to it, because I think like sometimes you get to a stage with an album where like the fatigue sets in, and you've done it over and over, and it's lived its life. Like, it doesn't mean that you don't love it, and it doesn't mean that you don't have like time for it anymore, but like it doesn't.
You just need to refresh it, innit? You need to keep it fresh, and it's always the case with the singles on the album as well, isn't it? Like, especially when it's a massive album. I'm a sucker. I've got such a shitty little hipster inside of me that just whatever's the most popular album on the most popular song on the album, I always skip it. I think I've heard it so much.
I'm different.
Really, yeah.
You've got to give it.
Got to give it credit.
Yeah, and I always feel like not always, but especially when I started doing the pod as well. Like I found that with new albums that I was discovering or that people were bringing on, I always found myself giving my favourite song as the single,
Fair
even
enough,
if I was trying.
I mean, there's a reason they chose as the single.
Is my thing, yeah. And I think especially when like it was the single, and it's like the one song on the album that everybody knows 10 years later. I'm like, it does.
No, I get that. I'm trying to grow out of my.
You've got to, man. Yeah. You've got to. It's okay
like,
to be. It's like, okay to.
Nevermind. By Nirvana. That's obviously. I mean, I think that's like a perfect album. One of the only like perfect albums, but still like I'm still a lot of time skipping Smells Like Teen Spirit, and it's so stupid because it's a sick song. It's just I've heard that, you won't believe how many times I've heard this tune.
But I think that is not your fault. I think think that is particularly a tune that is just played
too much. It's too much.
It's one of those things that it wasn't given the space to breathe.
No, exactly.
Even for like, again, it's not our generation, but I feel like so many people could give you Smells Like Teen Spirit bar for bar, word for word. Like,
if definitely the sound. No one knows the words. Do you know what I mean? But definitely the sound. But I don't think there's a song like this on Voodoo.
No,
I don't think there's maybe Untitled a little bit. It's still a lovely tune, isn't it?
It's still.
It's nothing that's been like.
Rinsed.
Maybe again because like you were saying, it's slightly after our time. And unlike something like Nevermind, it wasn't like pushed on us at every single corner. So because of that, maybe we missed the time when Untitled, because that was a single, and that was everyone who loves that tune. That's everyone's favourite tune off the album, and that was a single. Yeah. So maybe this
is one album where it's not my favourite. I'll be honest. I think Spanish Joint personally is a unbelievable tune. Like that is a point in the album for me.
That was my favourite song on the album at a point.
Where have you progressed to now?
Right now, One More Gin is my favourite. It's fucking so
Well,
Send It On. That's what I said to this album, man. I could choose any song off the album and it could be.
Yeah, I also think by the time it gets to like Send It On, that's where it really settles into like the smoothness of it that you were discussing earlier.
So
like,
there's a point like so like it obviously starts with Play It Play, of course, and then Devil's Pie, innit? But and then Left and Right, which are a little bit they're not hard, but they're a little bit harder. Yeah. But yeah, there's this period in the middle of the album where that's where it all it's like one continuous tune.
Everything melts away.
Yeah,
it's
literally.
Like you're in his world. You mentioned MF Doom and you mentioned Illmatic as well. Yeah. So could you just let me know the other albums that you were choosing, and we'll kind of discuss them and
100%. Oh man, I told you I'm so indecisive.
Do you know what? I found and I've noticed that DJs and producers find this question the hardest.
Really hard, man.
Because I feel like you, especially when people have like a more varied taste as well. Yeah. Like
I really listen to everything. Yeah. Like I've told you I listen to. I'm big on metal. Yeah. I'm big on jazz.
That blew my mind.
Yeah, man. I just love like music, innit? If it's good, it's good.
I hear it.
But yeah, like you know what it was as well is again it's that little hipster inside of me, which is so lame. But like Voodoo. I chose Voodoo because it probably is my favorite album of all time, probably, and like I can talk the most about it naturally. Like I feel like I probably know the most about that and a couple of others in terms of like the making of the album, the history behind it, the people involved, blah 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 blah. I can talk most about like I was saying to you at the start, like I glanced over the questions, but I didn't really want to look and prepare answers because I can talk about this album for years and it just is natural.
It's
but
comfortable.
The hipster in me was like, don't choose Voodoo. It's too bait.
It's too bait.
Do you know what I mean? So I was just trying to think of something, but I just love it, innit? But yeah, like a couple of albums I wanted to choose would have been either Mad Villainy or Food by Doom. Illmatic.
Yeah.
And that one I talk quite loud. Like I wrote an essay about that when I was at uni. But then I also wanted to choose something really left field that you wouldn't have expected, like Siamese Dream. Yeah. This is one of my favourite albums by Smashing Pumpkins. Yeah. It's beautiful, man. It's a beautiful album.
Mate, it's so
like
good.
This album's like heavy and like there are heavy tunes, but a lot of it is like heavy and mellow.
Yeah, it's like kind of like washed out. And
and it's very dreamy and it's very.
So my like new passion in music is like shoegazy rock, like because it's like it's all the things
Velvet Underground and shit,
mate.
Yeah, man.
And I'm discovering it as a 25 to 27-year-old, and I'm there, and I'm like,
that's sick
because it's all the things that I think the things that are familiar in rock, but then stripped back to a space where like my more melodious palette can enjoy it. The other album that surprised me, I know you're an R&B fan, was the Summer Walker one.
Yeah, bro.
I was like,
this is you know, like when Apple Music. I'm on Apple Music, and but Spotify does the same thing where they give you like your most streamed album. Yeah. Every year, this is like my most streamed album. I don't know what it is about. It's not even that good. I don't know, but it is though. It's like,
I'm glad you said it.
It's just I don't know what it is. It's just got a vibe to it.
It does, and like I feel like Summer Walker.
I don't rate her other shit either.
She fits.
This album is like.
I think Last Day of Summer is better than this.
Yeah, fair enough.
Last Day of Summer. I think Last Day of Summer is better than this.
You know what it is with this? I think with the features, it's like a masterclass of trap soul.
Yes.
Like the features like Bryson Tiller, Gene Aiko, Party Next Door, Boogie with the Hoodie. Yeah. They got the Drake remix before we knew he was a pedo.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
I know.
Like that's of Usher.
This
is it's a crazy feature list.
Yeah, agreed. But I feel like it was made to be that. Do you know what I mean? Like whereas you know I feel like Last Day of Summer was like, okay, this is Summer Walker. This is what she sounds like. I hear you. And then it's 100%. Like she kind of got caught up again. We're bashing the industry, like caught up in the machine. It's like let's get as many people from this genre, put them on this album. We can push this out for as much money as possible. That's
I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's just never really, for some reason, Over It just hit me, and for some reason, the other albums just didn't like hit me. I just go back to Over It every time.
That's so fair.
I love the production on it. I love it. And I love Like, I love it when, and this is a little thing with D'Angelo a little bit as well, but not so much. But like when, like nice sounding music, like R&B soul, talks about ratchet shit.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's something about that, like
something about it. Just it scratches that itch. So you can get that kind of cathartic release, but like it still sounds nice.
It sounds nice. You can play it in the background.
It's sexy. Trashy. Yeah. I've got a game based off some of these recommendations.
Cool. So let's do it.
If people are sports fans, you'll know the start, sub, sell. We're music fans, so we do sign, stream, skip. You either sign someone to your record label, stream them, you can listen to them on a regular basis, skip, they're gone.
So you're going to give me the 3?
I'm going to give you 3. Cool. We've got 2 rounds.
Okay, cool.
The first round is rap producers.
Cool.
The second round is going to be R&B vocalists.
Cool. All right, sit.
So, the rap producers are Alchemist, Madlib, J Dilla.
Okay, so
sign,
most of the
stream.
top 5.
Sign, stream.
So Madlib, Alchemist, and
Dilla.
Okay, sign, stream, skip. Okay. All right. Full disclosure, I love all these producers, so there's no hate, but I'm gonna say stream Madlib.
Okay.
Because I think personally Madlib is the greatest hip hop producer of all time, and I think the most eclectic and the most varied in sound, other than maybe someone like Kanye, who I also think is up there.
Yeah.
As a producer. Let's make that very clear. But Madlib, I think, is I would stream because I think he has the most variety in his music.
Okay.
I would skip The Alchemist, and I love The Alchemist.
Okay.
Big time love The Alchemist, but I think he's maybe, I don't know, is this true? Maybe it's not true, but he's maybe the most samey. He's created a sound, and it's like an amazing sound, and I love The Alchemist. I've got to pick someone. But I think he, to me, creates the most stock. Like I feel like he's got a formula, and he's very much stuck to his formula.
Yes, and I think
he's a great formula.
I think he's gone on record to say like sometimes the beats that he uses are not even the beats that he likes the most. Yeah. He just knows that with this rapper,
and it works,
and it does work.
And he has kind of reinvented himself 1 or 2 times, like with like the Griselda thing. And he's amazing, obviously. But if I had to choose one, I think he's And then J Dilla obviously signed just because that's got the most weight to the name. That you're going to sell the most product. And if I'm a label, I'm trying to sell some tunes in it. And obviously, he's still like one of the greatest in it. And I think that's probably what I choose because he would. He's the most sellable out of them all. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Do you want to hear mine?
100%. 100%.
Mine. This is the second time we've done this, and this is the second time I've reversed.
Oh yeah.
Like, I would sign Alchemist.
Interesting.
I would stream Madlib, and I would skip Dilla.
Okay.
I'm gonna caveat this before all the hip hop heads start coming at me.
I mean, you've picked 3 of the top 5. Like someone's got to go.
The reason I would skip Dilla is the weight is there, and the impact and what he's done is undeniable. But in terms of what I what I listen to now, or where my head's at as a music listener, like Dilla is more of like a nostalgia piece for me, or like you can see the influences.
And Alchemist has got he's much more sellable today. But is that because he's alive? I mean, would Dilla have? Do you know what I mean? Because obviously we know Alchemist is still doing bits.
I can only work with what I've got, and the thing is, for me,
you made the rules, Dapo. I made the rules here, bro.
Exactly.
I can only walk with the rules that I created 5 minutes ago.
My thing with Alchemist is. And this is probably a little bit of recency bias. Like, I'm just so infatuated with some of the stuff that he's done.
I love Alchemist.
The Larry June and 2 Chainz project, and I just saw him at the Jazz Cafe Festival.
Did you? Sick.
It like he's just. I'm almost tempted to go to whatever he's got going on with Yasin Bey.
Yeah.
I just think he has probably it's what you're saying, but I just see it in such a positive light. Like he has the formula, and is just dropping bangers, and I just think there's some of my
and the work rate as well is crazy.
It's like when I look at like some of my favorite projects by a certain artist, whether it be Larry June now or Earl Sweatshirt or whoever, like it is Action Bronson, like it is their Alchemist project that is top tier for me.
It is, except for when they work with Madlib. Like the Freddie Gibbs Madlib one, and then he dropped the one with Alchemist recently after, and I was like, this one is sick.
But it's Freddie, not, but then...
Or like Action
That's why I would do the stream Madlib, is because like, I would say Pinata is still one of my favourite like hip-hop albums to listen to just in general. Like, and that kind, and then you take Mad Villainy, like that is...
That's goated. That's...
Bro,
possibly the greatest hip hop album of all time. Possibly. It's Accordion as a song.
Blows my mind to this day. I'm just like, how you got here makes no sense. No sense to me. Right, round 2, because we did not agree on.
But no, I do rate your advice. 100%. You know,
Sign, Stream, Skip, Summer Walker, Kalani, and Her.
Okay. Sign, Stream, Skip. Okay, obviously stream Summer Walker, because I love that album, and I'm gonna say not sign Summer Walker because I just don't. The work rate ain't there. Do you know what I mean? It's always like too long in between projects and stuff, and as a label, you wouldn't be able to count on that. You know what I mean? You're never gonna recoup your costs. But yeah, definitely stream Summer Walker. This is so hard. I'm gonna say sign Her. I don't want to skip Kalani. But if I had to, I'm gonna say sign Her because I feel like she's got the most artistry behind her. She's most diverse. She can shred.
She can shred.
So she's fucking cool. I mean, I love Kalani as well. I'd love to say stream Kalani too, because I mean Kalani's obviously a bit more smoother. You know, I love smooth shit. But yeah, I think if I had to choose, Her. She's got the most artistry and the most potential probably, and longevity. I'd say Kalani and Summer Walker probably. I think I've got a soft spot for Summer Walker because I just love this album. Like I've said, it's not even
that good.
Like, you know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
On paper or whatever, or
like music, from like a music snob point of view.
Exactly. Exactly. I wouldn't play this to anyone. Like there's certain albums where you're like, if someone doesn't like it, you're like, are you okay? But this one, like, I wouldn't blame anyone for not being into it. Obviously, it's so auto-tune heavy. But like, I think Kalani and Summer Walker have the possibility to fall just into like another R&B. They're just like another R&B artist, but they are sick though. But you know what I mean. Whereas Her, I think's got a bit more to her.
We are in total lockstep. I think Her as an artist is I feel like she transcends like
exactly
just being an R&B artist.
Fully.
Like she could jump into different genres.
She's got like Prince kind of vibe, you know what I mean?
She's and I also think as a vocalist she's the strongest. Like her voice is unbelievable. 100%. Let alone she's a multi-instrumentalist and she takes I think a little bit more like nuance into her creative direction of her shows and all these sorts of things.
Exactly.
So like Her is a guarantee.
She's the most full package.
Facts. Exactly that. I was to-ing and fro-ing between Summer Walker and Kalani. The thing that made me stream Summer Walker and skip Kalani is, even though I don't necessarily feel like Summer Walker projects are like 100% for me, I think her feature game is actually top tier. Like,
crazy.
If I see Summer Walker on a feature, not to say that like Kalani's got some great features. The one with The Way with Chance the Rapper, that she's got some great features.
Man, talk about a rapper that fell off.
Right, so
Acid Rap I could have chose Acid Rap.
Acid Rap is a beautiful album. Acid Rap is in and around the top 10 for me.
Yeah, I can. I think it's insane.
It's insane,
and it's so individual.
Oh, great! And I think as well, like it's actually almost getting to like a concept album. Like the thought process behind it is great, and like the sound is perfect. The features were
amazing.
Spot on, and you think,
especially for that time,
it's almost like a snapshot of people who are going to go and
exactly
their careers. Like,
because none of what was it? Action Bronson,
Childish Gambino,
who else on the album? Vic Mensa.
Yeah.
And Vic Mensa didn't get as big, but like.
It's
obviously
still doing his thing,
But Childish Gambino, obviously, he's transcended music now.
He pisses me off because he's one of those people who was just
good at everything.
He did everything.
Yeah, man.
I was watching him in Community, and I was like, how can you do this? Like, how can you do this? Although his most recent album was trash.
I don't even listen to it.
Nah, mate, not worth it. Move on with your life.
You know, his music as well at that stage. It was cool for the time, but looking back on it, it is very like I don't know how you describe it. Like, is that cringy part of
juvenile?
Yeah, exactly.
Backpacky.
Exactly.
And I agree. I think Gambino peaked for me at because the internet.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was like the perfect blend of the like childish and like a little bit cringy side.
Yeah.
And cringy, Awaken My Love, where it's like, okay, you are a musician. You are like talented, but I prefer him as a rapper than a singer. Like I agree 100%. I wanted more of that side before his career.
Maybe he'll come back to it. Maybe like more mature.
Maybe
come back and make some cool shit.
I don't know. I feel like this album was supposed to be that, but it has a few songs. There's a song called Psilocybin, which is really nice, which is I think worth listening. And it was all tied into his film as well, which was kind of like, I think Chance the Rapper's gonna come back. I think Chance the Rapper. See, Chance the Rapper has.
He's tried it. I mean, you can't give people too many chances.
But it's his name.
Fair enough. Yeah, Chance the Rapper.
But he's got this project coming out. He's been teasing it for like a year now, and it's supposed to be an album called the Starline Gallery or something like that, and it's all looped around him going back to Ghana and finding his heritage and blah 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 blah.
Oh, you know, bro, I already know it's gonna be trash.
But
I know for
some of the tracks that he's dropped from it already slap.
Alright.
He's rapping.
He's probably listen to it. For me, like I can only give. I probably if everyone goes on about how mate, but even then, normally I end up
that will push you away.
Yeah, no, not even. It's just that like so many times when people say shit, everyone is going about how amazing it is. So many times I listen to, I'm like, I just don't get it at all. But I just don't want to give people too many chances. Like,
is that because people hype it up?
Probably.
Or because I get that with music. I get it with film.
Yeah, I get it with film a lot.
People will tell me that something is the best thing that they've ever seen or heard. So I will go in with that
thinking it's going to be the best shit I'm ever going to watch.
When really, I should just value their opinions less. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Like, it may be good, but
there's a lot to say for like groupthink as well, isn't it? Where everyone's got to join like a bandwagon. And I'll probably listen to it.
I will.
I feel like I've checked out of Chance the Rapper.
I will send you 2 songs.
Yeah.
From of his most recent drops. And then you can let me know what you think.
No, I'm here for it.
That's.
I do. I mean, I was big on. I rate him. I just gave up.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I really don't blame you because I feel like Colouring Book.
Yeah,
that's where I was. Like, I was still holding on.
I was holding
the
on.
Big Day is one of the worst.
That was the one with the sparkly
disc.
Trash.
He just had so much potential that he didn't live up to.
Yeah,
he didn't live up to.
Yeah.
I have a question based off things that you've done at cultdeep. So obviously, I've witnessed the platform and like, I love the freestyles that you do, and you have given a space to a lot of up and coming rappers in the UK. There are a lot of artists who want to be doing their thing, but they don't have an avenue or an outlet to do it. Who from like doing cultdeep videos have you seen that who deserves more?
And lots of people, bro. Lots of people. You know what? Actually, I mean, I've got to shout him out. He's your boy too. That's how I actually linked Renell.
Oh, really?
We I mean, I knew about him a little bit because he was in Brighton, and you know, I hadn't put out too much music, and we just asked him to a cultdeep live session, and he's fucking sick, isn't it? Obviously, big up Jared, big up Renell. So so he's starting to get the recognition, but he's definitely one that I would say deserves all the recognition for sure. Very eclectic, like can jump on anything, has great music taste across the board, not just UK hip hop, not just trap, but like, you know, everything in between and outside of it. So yeah, he's sick. Oh man, there's so many to choose from. Ideal is our guy. He doesn't do enough music anymore, but he's the best freestyler I've ever seen.
Swear.
Hilarious.
Yeah, he's gold.
Hilarious, man. He's so clever as well. Like, we just put out a little thing. It was just on radio, just standard like freestyle shit. But I'm actually gonna we're gonna make it into a song. I haven't asked him about this yet, but this is it. I'll go because he did it over one of my beats, and it's just so sick, and it's so meaningful. Talking about like bright, but what he was talking about translates to every city probably, and gentrification and stuff like that. But yeah, so he's one. Oh, we're about to drop one very soon by a kid called Saidu. I think that's how we pronounce it. Saidou. The beat that he's on is from Novelist. So this guy is definitely one to check out. And we were like, because he said it in the start of the tune, he was like, big up Novelist on the Producky. And after the first day, we were like, is that
actual
beat
Novelist?
Novelist? Yeah, Novelist sent in the beat, and we were like, yeah,
yo,
you're sick. Grime. We need Grime Wave 3.
Yeah,
so
I feel like it's coming.
It could be.
I feel like it's coming. I went to the Chip Grime scene.
Oh my days, bro! I saw that online. That's insane,
bro. It was the stupidest fucking event.
You see, Sound Clash as well, the Red Bull
Culture Clash.
Sorry, yeah.
So
crazy.
It pissed me off.
Where is Scraps?
It pissed me off that it was that good because I went to the original one in 2013.
That's legendary.
Bro, it was one
Was that the one with like BBK and
ASAP Mob, Rebel Sound, Chasing Status,
that's like a voted.
That was
crazy.
To this day, one of the best shows of my life. I was like 17 off my fucking john, and it was like it was a health hazard because they had the stages in 4 different corners, and people were like you were sprinting across Earl's Court to get to your spot, and it was ridiculous. It was ridiculous.
I'm so jealous.
And like the ones afterwards, I think they did it at the O2 and blah blah blah. I didn't go, and they looked mid, and I was like,
but this last
one, they did it at Drumsheds. It looked crazy, and I was like, I made a point of being like, I'm not sure I can even bother. Like, who even are the lineups? Like, Spice is cool, but like, it looked nuts.
But I think it's because it's time and place, innit? Like, probably the last couple ones, like the culture at the moment is yearning for that era of British music. Like, Jungle's back,
and I'm here for it.
I'm so here for it. Garage is coming back.
Garage is coming back, bro.
Grime's coming back. Grime Wave 3. I'm so here for it. Lately I've been on such a UK thing. Like, I haven't been listening to hardly any American artists. I've just been pure UK.
Even like going like UK throwbacks, one of the things that I'm looking forward to most for We Out Here, MJ Cole is doing Sincere.
That's what I mean, bro.
I was there, and I was like, what do you mean he's presented Sincere? I was listening to it fucking recently because I'm putting it as one of my picks of the week, and I was like, I'm gonna hear Crazy Love live. Like, what
that's
fuck?
crazy.
What the fuck? I've been listening to this tune since I was like 5 years old.
Yeah, literally, innit?
Like, what the fuck?
And like, I think our age group, we're getting to that age now where we're yearning for nostalgia, and we're yearning for that old, better in my day. Do you know what I mean?
And I think, not to say that it's better, but I think the genres and the sounds that we're talking about were really, really, really fucking good.
Yeah.
But they weren't given the space to explode to the levels that things are now, because it's just not the world that we grew up in.
But because of that, it was the most sincere, and like because of that, like there was really scenes. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Which
it was
is something
community.
we're kind of lacking these
100%.
days because everything's so like merged, which is cool as well. You know, like I'm like a product of it, like being like massive into hip hop, soul, R&B, and metal, emo and punk. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of blurred lines, but back in the day, it's like there's really was scenes, and the scenes really meant something to people, but because it wasn't getting the recognition that it deserved.
Like you were doing it for the love of doing it.
So it meant so much more to go to.
The people around you who loved it. But then I think this is why it's coming back, because there is a middle ground between the two. Like, things don't have to be entirely exclusive, and arguably that's some of the reasons why, especially like you take genres like grime for example, that's community scene exclusive element is probably what stopped some people getting as big as they could
100%,
be. So like merging the two, where you're doing things with a focus of community and doing things with a focus of like the passion for the music, but then blending that with allowing newer audiences or different audiences or people who aren't necessarily like your core demographic into the scene.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a win-win for everybody.
Exactly,
And I think like the fact that Culture Clash can sell out a drum sheds is a massive sign for that, and I hope they continue doing it because I will go next year.
Well, this is man, and this is what's giving me hope is the how popular these things are still, like, because obviously we've been through grime like two times now, and like the grime is dead as a phrase has been said time and time again, and it was dead. But like seeing Culture Clash and seeing what's that guy DJ AG online, the guy and all these different things, and seeing someone or like the Grime Saviors thing, them doing these shows or putting out these songs or whatever, and seeing people get so gassed about it, like the audience is there. The people want this shit. A pet peeve of mine when we're on radio, and obviously we do like the freestyles, and I'm just spinning beats or whatever, and whenever I get these rappers, shout out all of you as well, because you know who you are. They all fucking do it, man. They're telling me this, not their tempo, it's not this or something. I'm like, bro, you're a rapper. Just rap.
Find your pocket and move
rap,
on.
Bro. So, you know what I mean? Like, I'm a drummer, yeah. I'll drum on anything, any style. Play me some shit, I'll drum on it. Like, if you're a rapper, rap. Do you know what I mean?
So fair.
You can't just have one tempo.
Yeah, facts. Agreed. And like, if you feel that you have one tempo, don't step up to the plate.
That's the other thing. There's normally when this happens, there's like 10 other guys here, or like 5 other guys here trying to jump on the mic. Just pass the mic. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? You don't have to rap. Yeah. If you ain't got it,
it's so true.
Dill's gonna shell anything. So if you can't rap, just pass the mic to Ideal, and he's gonna body all of you anyway. I don't care. So yeah.
Unreal. So what else have you got going on before we?
I've got I've got a million things going on as a drummer, but that's just here, there, and every other time. Like obviously you got Stephen Bamadelli, but Kian Fasiri, that's my guy, bro. That's one of my best friends. Like he is like he's the most, how do I say this? He's the greatest creative I've witnessed in person. Wow. Like in terms of like people creating things, I've never seen any like a genius musical. And I hate to say this because he's such a prick, and he knows he is as well. I tell him he is as well, but he really is like the most impressive creative I've seen. Like the shit he can, like as a producer, he's an amazing artist, but as a producer, I've watched him in the studio so many times because he produces for a lot of artists, and it's like amazing, bro. Like what he can create all himself. And I've been with him where we've been in one session, and it's been, you know, pick a genre, and then the session will literally finish. It won't even have a break. We'll go straight into the next session, completely different artist, completely different genre, and he's straight on to making this whole different genre. Every instrument is crazy. So big up Kian, big up Stephen Bamadelli, Francesca Fulmini, another really good friend of mine who's back on it. Amazing artist. Really soon is Lawless. You know Lawless?
Yeah.
It's my guy, Brighton. Another really sick Brighton artist to check out. We've got a project which I've just finished the mix on. We've got a couple of music videos coming. It's called Gatto.
Nice.
Black Forest Gatto. Delicious,
like
isn't it?
Like it.
So we've got like one of the music videos is like a slow motion cake fight that we shot in the field.
Oh, sick.
Shot by my guy King Girl. We're going to do another one where it's like a long form video of us making a gatto, and then we're just gonna just
play around with it.
Yeah, but it's nice little EP. We've got that. Bits and bobs. I'm just trying to. I'm trying to not do massive projects this year. Do you know what I mean? Because it just takes so much. Like singles and a lot. Hopefully, a good 4 or 5 EPs. I'd say coming out this year with just a whole host of different rappers and
love that. Man.
I'm just
keep yourself busy.
At the moment, I'm trying to put out flips as well. Like I'm just trying to put out a lot of Instagram edits, remixes.
Yeah, I've been seeing them. Thank you so much for joining me.
Pleasure.
Thank you so much for listening at home.
Yeah, man. Big up everyone listening.
Follow Vinyl Resting Place on all our socials. Yeah. TikTok, Instagram. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Buy tickets for the live show. You got a live show. Burbs and Zara are doing.
Sick. Okay, cool.
It's gonna be.
I don't even know.
We only dropped tickets yesterday.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. We dropped yesterday, so it's in Manny. We're doing
nice
live podcast, and then they're gonna do like a 45-minute set of their new music. We'll be back with another episode of Vinyl Resting Place in the next couple of weeks. Be sure to follow us on all the socials, Instagram, TikTok, all of that. Follow Guami.
Yes.
Follow Cult Deep.
Yes, definitely.
We'll be seeing some of their visuals in our socials if you will let us use them.
Of course, I need all the fucking help I can get.
So we'll take it from there. But yeah, much appreciated.
Big up, man.
Peace.
Okay.
Appreciate